You know, this net neutrality debate, one side says it's going to create jobs. The other side says, no, it's going to hurt jobs. And we are focused in this Congress on job creation. The public gets confused. Who's right and who's wrong? It's he said, she said. I boil it down to the simplest folks in my district who, you know, they just want, if they can get broadband service, we still don't have it. High speed, that's mapping and all the other things. But they really do want jobs. You know, the president's, you know, if we're not going to spend money, we're not going to borrow money in this Congress to try to create jobs. We think that failed in the last Congress. Plus, we're talking about debt, deficit, and job creation. So if we're going to create jobs without spending money, we have to ease the regulatory burden. I don't know how, because that provides more certainty. Capital borrowing is lowered when you have more certainty, easing the regulatory burden. The President's agreed to that. I think, Mr. Janikowski, you sent out an email asking your agency to look at ways where exerted regulatory burden might impinge job creation. So let me ask Commissioner Baker, had we done a cost-benefit analysis, if we would have done a cost-benefit analysis on net neutrality, job creation, do you think that would be something we wouldn't want to get an answer to? What do you think we would have come up with?
It's a good question. I think had we done a market analysis, certainly every government, every other government that has looked at this has come up with the fact that the hypothetical problem of net neutrality would be better served if we're worried about on-ramps to the Internet. The best way to solve that is to create more on-ramps. So aside from the actual authority question, I think the policy would come up that the market benefit analysis would come out not in favor of this.
This is just an interesting debate because we even heard, you know, Chairman Waxman make the statement, and I heard it yesterday in my environment and the economy hearing, that regulations create jobs. And they really believe it, that regulations create jobs. In the hearing yesterday, the EPA also in their statement saying, we're not going to look at job creation. We're not going to look at effects on the economy. So that's why we think there should always be at least an analysis of cost-benefit analysis on where, and had this been done prior to promulgation of movement towards net neutrality through the Commission, maybe there would be more certainty, and their side would be pointing out to your analysis, and we'd be looking at that analysis and saying, yeah, it's legit, or it's not. But nothing. Yeah, Commissioner, Chairman, do you want to respond?
As I said before, we did do a market analysis, and I disagree with my colleague very strongly. I think the pro-job, pro-investment outcomes of this balanced framework that we adopted very much outweigh the burdens which people either say are very small indeed or highly speculative.
Let me just chime in because, you know, I've been on the committee for a long time, and just like, you know, Mr. Markin can talk about going back to the breakup of the bells, you know, I can talk, you know, when the cell phone was a little brick, mini brick when I got elected, and you had to change the roaming when you got here, to now really voice is really the throwaway service. It's been an unregulated environment that's moved faster than we can even get there now. And again, our concern is if we're not doing cost-benefit analysis on regulations, the regulations may be important, but the public needs to be able to make the decision based upon the impact on jobs versus benefits received, and that's our frustration.